you ever feel like you're just one magic word away from getting that perfect result from an AI? Yeah, we've all been there, hunting for that secret phrase. But what if I told you the secret isn't a trick at all? So today, we're going to move beyond all that folklore and get into a real, proven method for getting exactly what you want pretty much every single time.
So take a look at this. On the left, you've got what we can call the magic words approach. You throw in some mysterious phrases, cross your fingers, and just hope for the best. But on the right, you see the specification approach. It's precise, it's detailed, and it's basically engineered to build a very specific outcome. These are two totally different ways of thinking about the exact same problem.
So which one do you think actually works, like consistently? The one that sounds like you're casting a spell, or the one that reads like a super clear set of instructions? The answer, well, it might just change how you talk to AI forever.
And that really brings us to the core idea here. The best way to think about prompting is not incantation, it's specification. It has way less to do with finding some secret password and everything to do with being incredibly clear, direct, and precise about what you need. Okay, think of it this way. You're not a wizard, you're a manager, and you are writing a very clear brief for a really capable but also very literal contractor. Every single thing you leave out, every bit of fuzzy language, well, you're just forcing the model to guess. And when it guesses, that's when you get those close but not quite results that drive us all crazy. So how do we get great at this whole specification thing? Well, it turns out there are 4 fundamental levers you can pull to just dramatically boost the quality of your output. These are the patterns that separate the prompts that work from the ones that are just frustrating. And that's it, just 4. This isn't some crazy long list of tricks to memorize. And really, mastering these is where the magic, the real magic, happens. They are examples, constraints, structure, and role. Let's break down each one, and we'll start with what might just be the most powerful one of them all. So, lever number 1 is providing examples. And honestly, this is, without a doubt, the single most underused and yet most effective tool in all of prompting. It's so simple, but wow, it makes a world of difference. The rule to burn into your brain is simple. Show, don't describe. Instead of trying to write a whole paragraph explaining the tone or the style you want, just show the model exactly what you mean. I mean, seriously, one good example is going to beat a whole paragraph of instructions any day of the week. But you want to know the real sweet spot? 2 or 3. See, with a few examples, the model can start to figure out the pattern you're after, the underlying style and structure, instead of just, copying the details of that one example. It's the difference between imitation and real understanding. Now, examples are amazing, but they work best when you combine them with our next 3 levers: constraints, structure, and role. So if examples show the model what you want, these next 3 basically build a fence around it. They make sure the output is precise and predictable. This is how we get rid of all that guesswork. Constraints are your rules of the road. You've got your soft constraints, things like keep it to 3 sentences or make it formal but warm. But the real power, that's often in the hard constraints. Telling a model what not to do, like literally saying, do not use the word synergy, is often way more effective than trying to describe some positive alternative. It's direct, it's crystal clear, and it just works. In this slide right here, it perfectly shows the power of structure. On the left, a vague request like, give me a summary, is kind of like rolling the dice. Who knows what you're going to get? But on the right, by demanding a specific structure, like a JSON object, you're building a reliable system. The output becomes predictable, it's machine-readable, and frankly, it makes the AI's job a whole lot easier, and your results a whole lot better. All right, now for maybe the most abused lever of them all. Role. Please forget telling the AI you are a world-class expert. That's just fluff. It doesn't really do anything. What actually matters is giving it a situation. Why? Because a situation primes the model with all the right vocabulary, the right tone, the common patterns for that context. Framing the task as a code review for a junior developer, that gives the model everything it needs: the audience, the purpose, the right perspective. It's about the situation, not the identity. So, how do you put this all together into a process? It's simple. Here's a repeatable workflow. First, start with the perfect output. Seriously, write it out yourself if you have to. Then work backwards. Ask yourself what constraints, examples, and structure would create this. Then write a tight prompt using those levers.
And finally, and this is key, when you get a bad result, don't just add more magic words. Ask which lever failed and fix that specific part of your specification.
And this really gets to the heart of why all of this matters so much. Learning to think in terms of specification isn't just a little hack for today's models. No, this is a foundational skill that's actually going to last. Let's just be really clear about this. Tricks decay. All those take a deep breath or $200 tip phrases, they're already becoming ancient history as models get smarter. But the skill of writing a clear specification, that is durable. It's transferable. It worked on last year's models, it works today, and it will work on whatever comes next. Because it was never about tricking the model, it was always about being clear.
So the next time you sit down to get something from an AI, just ask yourself this one question. Are you about to write an incantation, hoping for a little bit of magic? Or are you going to write a clear, concise specification and actually get exactly what you need?